My name is Teddy and I manage running a business that in its record month made 45,000 USD with a height of 35 employees. I manage top marks at one of the top universities in the world, LSE, and I also play basketball and run a personal brand full time. I do this all at the same time, and the truth is I'm not working harder than the average person. In fact, there is a simple system that I follow that has allowed me to be this productive. So this is my productivity breakdown. Work on the hardest task first. The number one thing you can do to push your business forward is to make sure that needle-moving tasks are getting done every single day. And as a founder, I know that I have a limited amount of energy. And so I need to direct my biggest energy bubble right at the start of the day to the hardest task in order to push the business forward. And so all the big decisions, the big team meetings, the important trainings, they all get done in the morning when I'm fresh and when I have unlimited energy. And all the easier tasks, all the admin, all the check-ins, they all get done later in the day when I know that my energy is going to dip. Work hard, play hard. In the Bible it says there is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to uproot. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. And this is so important when it comes to business, because if you spend your entire time working, then you'll end up completely burnt out. So it's really important that you're either working or playing. And if you're working, you're not thinking about playing. And if you're playing, you're not thinking about working. When I'm relaxed, I'm fully relaxed. And when I'm working, I'm fully working. The times in my life when I've been most stagnated in business is when I feel like I've been half in, half out all the time. And I haven't been working or playing. I've just been somewhere in the middle. So what I found is when I'm doing work, I have to only be thinking about work. Or when I'm chilling and relaxing, I have to only be thinking about chilling and relaxing. And I have to be doing activities that I actually enjoy. Scrolling on my phone does not count as playing. If I work 24/7, which I've done in the past, I just completely burn out. And if I play 24/7, then my business just doesn't move forward. So as important as working on the business is, it's also so important to have time where you're not thinking about the business and where you're playing. Build around a strong why. The biggest difficulty in business was me getting from 10K a month to 40K a month. And the reason for that was because between those two numbers, I didn't have a clear why. When I was going from 0 to 10, I knew exactly what my why was. What was my reason for doing business? It was that I wanted confidence, so it was an ego thing. And it was also that I just wanted to be financially free. But once you get to 10K a month, you are financially free. You can do what you want. And on top of that, the ego thing you realize just doesn't matter at all anymore. And so from 10K to 40K, it just felt like an uphill battle because I didn't know why I was doing business anymore. So back then when I didn't understand what my why was, I was waking up every day and everything felt so difficult. And I was always on the verge of burning out. And I was thinking about even quitting business. But now I found a strong, clear why. Every day I wake up with a smile on my face because I know that what I'm doing is going to get me to where I really, really, really want to be and where I need to. And my why is two things. The first thing is that I just want to leave it all on the table. I've been given such a blessed life. I'm born in a first world country. I have good parents. I have good family around me. I have good friends. I'm generally smart and I pick things up very easily, that it's such a waste to just not do anything with that. And it's unfair on the people that haven't been born with that to kind of waste my opportunity and not give it my all at all times. And the second thing is I just want to give back to everyone that's given to me. People have been so kind to me my whole life that I need to return that favor. And one of the biggest things that I want to do is set up community basketball courts in North London. And that's something that one, I need a lot of money for, but two, I know will give me so much fulfillment and I'll be able to help so many people when I do that. And as a result, all the work that I'm putting in now, I understand that it's going towards a more important cause and something bigger than myself, which is what motivates me on a day-to-day. Outsource unnecessary tasks. One aspect of business that's often overlooked is that as a founder, you need to have time in your day to think about the important decisions that are going to push your business forward. So if you have to do 6 to 7 hours every single day of random tasks that don't move the business forward, you don't have time to think. You don't have time to make the most important decisions in your business. And so you just end up being another team member. You're no longer the founder because you're not the one pushing the business forward. So it is vital that you use your team members to outsource your unnecessary tasks. Any task that can be delegated and done to the same standard should be delegated. Now, this doesn't mean that you shouldn't know what is going on. For every team member in my business, I understand exactly what they're doing. But I also set up reporting systems so that I know what they're doing without having to pry and look into it and spend a bunch of time understanding each part of my business. Don't work on Sundays. Now, this is related to working hard and playing hard, but I need one day in my week where I'm just not thinking about business at all. And I can focus on family, relaxing, it's just so important that I have like time to myself. I don't want to be speaking to people involved in business on that day, and I just need it to completely reset so I can attack the week harder. And it makes me even more productive because Friday, Saturday is usually when you start to wind down, but instead, because I know that I have Sunday off, I'm working ultra hard because I know that I have my break coming. For me, it's really difficult to stay motivated consistently all the time when there isn't like an end point. So having Sunday each week to end and reset is super important. And it means that my Mondays are even better and my Saturdays and Fridays are even better. Build a team you actually enjoy. Right now, I'm in Bali and I've flown out here with my entire team, my creative director, 2 editors, and it's been a great trip. And the crazy thing is, we've literally been working the entire time. But I've had such a good time and it hasn't even felt like work. And the reason for that is because I really like my team members. I really get on with them and I can just have a good laugh with them outside of business as well. When you're picking your team members, it's worth taking like that little bit of sacrifice and getting someone that's slightly underqualified or slightly less qualified than another applicant if you align with their vision more and if you get on with them better, because it makes it so much easier to grow together. If I enjoy spending time with my team member, they're going to grow so much faster than someone that I dread being around. One of the best examples of this was my first client, Alec. I was super underqualified, but he believed in me and we were kind of good friends and he was aligned with my vision. And so he picked me over someone who may have been more qualified and he invested in me. And as a result, over the long term, we grew a lot together and we ended up scaling his business all the way from 5K a month to 100K a month. Leverage AI. As a business owner, if you are not leveraging AI, then your competition will simply just move way quicker than you. I use AI for everything in my business, my entire sales dashboard, all my troubleshooting. I train my VA with AI. Every system in my business revolves around using AI to improve it. And I think the most important thing about it is that you don't need to have extra people in your business. You don't need to clutter your business with extra employees because AI can do a lot of the heavy lifting that you would usually need 30 different VAs to do. And so instead of having a whole backend team, I just have one VA who manages my AI systems. And because AI is progressing so quickly, you need to understand the changes that are happening, because if you don't, then you'll be outcompeted because you won't understand how to implement systems and how to improve your business at the rate that other people can. Stop relying on caffeine and nicotine. Now, I used to take so much caffeine. I have multiple coffees in the day, and by like 3 p.m., I would feel completely exhausted and all my tasks would be unproductive from then. But what I realized is I just need to get a good sleep, wake up, get into my rhythm, and I don't need caffeine to pull me through. I think it's so stupid that you have to be reliant on a drink or a pouch in order to be able to work productive. A better thing to do is have other signals tell your brain that it's time to work. For example, I like to do my deep work with music on, and that kind of gives me a signal that, okay, now it's time to work. Exercise really helps me as well. So if I'm having a low energy moment, then I'll go and do some exercise and then I'll come back and I'll feel refreshed and ready to go instead of taking caffeine. Don't work where you sleep. Immediately when I wake up, I get the hell out of my house. That's because I know there is no way that I can work somewhere where I've just rested. It feeds into the whole work hard, play hard thing. And so I surround myself by an environment where I get inspired, whether that's uni, co-working spaces, WeWork, or even cafes with people that I work with. And being in that environment makes everything better because I'm more productive. But on top of that, when I get home, I know that I don't need to work anymore and that this is my place of rest, so I'm able to shut off way easier.